with you showing a build I'm very excited for,
When I'm ready,
which
and not
is
before.
Hex Blast, Impending Doom, Poison Occultist. So let's go ahead and give you guys a quick showcase. What's a good map? Is that a good map? This is a good map. We'll figure it out. So the build works by throwing down Despair in a nice little area effect and then casting Hex Blast to then remove the Doom on there and the Curse. So for mobs, you're just gonna... For mobs, you can just cast the Despair and immediately use Hex Blast. For bigger targets, what you want to do is actually wait a second until the circle kind of pulses, I guess would be the best description. Like that. And then all your Doom stacks should be applied. And it'll make it so you get max damage that way. I'll show you when we get to the boss.
I
figure I'll mention it as I go. But damage is already high enough where you don't need to worry about that for the little mobs that we're dealing with here. It's really nice for harvest because they're all in a nice little area. There's one nuke. There's two nukes. That's a nuke. Oh, he has a lot of health. In that situation, we just pop our play bear. They're dead. Which, play bear is a really nice, just let's end it quickly type scenario. Great clear, my personal opinion. Oh, hello. Still a little squishy. But sometimes I feel the squishiness is mainly, I say squishy because I die, but I'm pretty sure that's just player error more than build error. I'm really not like the best player ever.
When I'm ready, and not before.
There we go. You can see we were at 0, now we're at 205,000 poisoned. And we use Frostball to stop regeneration and also give them cold exposure so that they will take more cold damage. Because Hex Blast deals damage to them based on their lowest resistance. And since we are an occultist, that means that they get minus 20 just for us being in their presence. We're going to use the Frost Bomb to give them an additional 15. So minus 35 to Chaos resistance. Or not Chaos, it's cold resistance. Which means Chaos damage will be dealt to them as cold damage. Or not as cold damage, but against their cold resistance. And if they have a higher cold resistance, they'll just take it as Chaos damage because of the other minus 20. Whichever one's higher. So wherever the lowest resistance is, that's what they're taking the damage as. Sorry. I'll figure out my buttons eventually. So that was the map showcase. That was a T9, T10, I think? No, T7. I'm not sure. Still leveling. I want to level up a few more. I'm only level 83 right now. So I need to be able to equip Enlighten or Just farm up enough currency so I can buy 3 silvers for sovereignty so I can finally quit Defiance Banner. And then I think we'll be where we want to be as far as taking this is concerned, right? But anyway, let's get into the abilities. So the main thing is Doomsday. This is what causes the area effect on the ground for Despair. There you go. The giant Despair symbol on the ground. So what happens is you make that, everyone's cursed, right? And it lasts for 1 second. If you cast it yourself, you create that hex area. So that's why we're self-casting the Despair. And then once the area ends, or the hex area is over with, they go to max doom. They don't gain any doom over time like they normally do, just go straight to max doom as soon as the area ends. So, boom, it pulses, it ends, they go to max doom, which is currently, I believe, 40 max doom, 30 base, plus 10 for the passives, and then we're at 40. We have that currently linked, and this is not at all needed, to impending doom, anomalous impending doom. So we picked up anomalous because it reduces duration, and you can see here you can buy it for 4 to 10 chaos. I bought mine at 20 because it was like one of 2 that were on the auction house at the time. So the auction house, I'm sorry, trade site. It was 1 of 2. It is what it is. And I found the divine orbs. So I said, screw it, why not? But anomalous impending doom, not at all needed. It just makes it faster. You just have to wait an extra second. Compared to 40% reduction on that. So instead of waiting half a second, you're waiting for a second. Because the hex area is just for 1 second. So again, absolutely not necessary. This just makes it faster. But impending doom, once the hex ends, it triggers a blast. So we use Hex Blast. Hex Blast removes the hex and it deals damage to the target equals the amount of doom that they have. So the more doom on the target, which is max, they do 40% more damage for every 5 doom. We're at 40, which is 8 times. So 5 times 8 equals 40. Yeah, so 8 times 40%. That'd be 320 extra damage. Yeah, that's a lot of poison, a lot of chaos damage, just a lot of damage in general. We're using Divergent. Again, I want to try this out because I forgot about Divergent Hex Blast. But that just does 40% increased damage with ailments. So you'll do the... I don't know the calculations on it, but you'll do 40% more damage with poison. Which is great for bossing. That's about it. Not needed at all. I promise you. And the Doom Blast will also deal damage to them. It will also do damage with ailments. So you're doing several poisons, but it's just whichever one's going to be the strongest, which is always going to be the Hex Blast. It will always do the most damage. But you might get anomalous impending doom and do some damage to targets around in the area. The main thing for this is 40% more damage with hits per 5 doom on there. So you're going to do another 320% increased damage with the Hex Blast because they're at max doom. So that's where all the damage is coming from. So we have Despair linked to added chaos, flat added chaos, because impending doom has a effectiveness of 200% increased effectiveness of added damage. So essentially doubles the damage added to it. And then we're doing void manipulation. Now the end game goal is to actually have a 6 link with Despair and impending doom and a staff. One will get some blocks, so it's just a nice little touch of defense. It's barely will ever block, but you can. But the main reason why is because we get +2 to socket of support gems. That's a craft that we can do. And impending doom does not benefit from empower, enhance, and or anything like that, right? Despair will get the benefits from that. So nothing from Matches of the Star, none of it, right? So the only way we can do it is by increasing the socket of support gems. So that's why we want to put that into a staff, so impending doom can get +2. But I don't think it's actually be needed. I think that's be way more into the end game of things. So, you know, it is what it is. What else? Oh, Impending Doom, or not Impending, Hex Blast. We have that linked to Cruelty, Added Chaos, Concentrated Effects, Control Destruction, and Void Manipulation. When we get higher up, we're probably going to switch out the Added Chaos with Awaken Added Chaos. It's super cheap at the early beginning of the league, and we'll probably only get cheaper. Cruelty will be swapped out for Empower, so the Hex Blast can hit harder. Yeah, so it'll probably be cruel. It'll more likely be Empower just for extra levels. Extra levels mean extra base damage, so overall it'll just do more damage. But not needed. Cruelty is doing just fine, and all it would mean is that the poison or the ignites that come from this will do more damage. And yes, it can ignite. All damage from Hex Blast can shock, can ignite, and it can freeze. It will more than likely freeze because of the resistances that we're causing. But we do want to get a ring with a ring or a pair of gloves that say elemental weakness on hit. More than likely we'll get on a ring because the gloves that is required for this build is Vix's Entrapment. This is so we can automatically cast the new ability Alchemist Mark, which can drop a Caustic Ground and or a Burning Ground. So we get an Ignite and a Poison. We'll have a Burning Ground down and a Caustic Ground. Now, we're not counting on the Burning Ground. We're mainly counting on the Caustic Ground. We will always drop a Caustic Ground. And it will always be whatever the strongest poison is on that. Which is why I'm honestly thinking of picking up poisons I inflict on non-poison enemies deal 300% decreased damage. Because if it's the first time we hit a boss with it, and they're not poisoned, that's an extra 30%, which means the Caustic Ground will be that much stronger. Which I think will be a good idea. We're not sure yet. No reason why. Increased flash charges. Good stuff. So Vix's Entrapment is the best best gloves for this build. And you also get an additional curse. So you don't need to spec into Whispers of Doom early on. We will be specking to that later on when we get the elemental weakness. Outside of that, a lot of this gear is actually pretty decently priced. For me, the chest piece cost me a divine. However, that's a more recent edition.
When I'm ready.
The chest piece I was using was just an ES chest piece that has 6 links that I bought for maybe like 40 chaos. But I think it's worth more than that. I just got lucky. So I'm just trying to get rid of it now. Yeah. Sorry about that. Well, you wanted something with evasion rating for the chance to suppress spell damage. Prior to that, that was probably our biggest purchase, 40 chaos here. This cost me like 30 chaos for this helmet, which is a steel, I think. These boots were like 35 chaos, I think. I felt like 3 divine orbs this league so far, so say as you will. So I just went ahead and went for the more expensive stuff that I'm probably gonna find. By next week, all this will probably be half priced, right? But I saw these really decently priced with like 36% movement speed, or 38. So 26 base and then the 12% if you haven't been hit. And I saw chance spell or suppress spell damage. I was like, yeah, let's try it out. Let's go for it. Outside of that, there's nothing special about the rest of the gear. This build is heavily dependent on strength and dexterity. So there was a time where I was having to invest into a strength and dexterity node. Because we are running Petrified Blood and we're also running Plague Bearer. Those are like the main reasons why everything's so expensive. As far as dex is concerned. And strength is concerned. So you're gonna have to find some dex and strength rings or boots or chest piece or wherever you can find it. Just you have to find what you can. We can roll using Eldritch currency to get reduced reservation, which is what I'm planning on doing there, along with sovereignty on my amulet, so we can finally have the Divine Spanner up, which should help out our defenses tremendously. And I actually got really lucky. I really enjoyed this. It was just the commandment reflection would hit, which makes a copy of you, but pulls all the aggro to itself. So that's actually very useful, but again, not required. Just if you happen to get it in the lab, go with reflection. It's the best thing. For boots, the enchantment I would want on there is the chance to inflict, ignite, shock, or freeze, or movement speed, or increase critical damage, or anything that what you need. That you need. Like, it's pretty open on the boots. That's about it. I think for our amulet, what we're aiming for obviously is like +1 to chaos, +1 to all skills, something like that. The wands, we just want +1 to chaos on them and recoup at life. Our rings are the same thing. We want recoup life on them. In the end game, we want recoup life. One with recoup life, one with curse enemies elemental weakness, and then resistances and stats as we need it, right? Life, etc. So the rings are be a little rough to get, but I think we can get there pretty easily in the next week or two. So yeah, that shouldn't be too hard. Anything else? The tree. We started here. I would recommend going to the left first, and then going up and getting to Doomsday. You just need to have Doomsday by level 31. So we're live. Once you hit 31, you go to the library in Act 3, and you go get Petting Doom, Plague Bearer, and you'll have access to Hex Blast as a quest reward. Those are the 3 things you need. And you also want to pick up Serpentine Spellslingers, just so you have a chance to poison with your skills. So you get additional chaos resistance, or minus chaos resistance against enemies. So you can just be stronger. But you want that so you can have Plague Bearer active. And you want this so you can have your Despair / Hexblade active. Hex Blast active. So you can just start melting things. Once you have Doomsday active or live with the Despair and the Penny Doom and the Hex Blast, leveling up is really easy. I leveled up using Spark. I don't know if I would recommend that. I hate Spark. I really hate Spark, but it got there. So just use whatever skill you think will be best for you. But just get to level 31. That's all you need to do. Once you get 31, this tree opens up. Then you can have a 4-link. I ran 4 links all the way in maps, all the way to Act 8. I'm sorry, and that's just because I got a tabula. If I didn't have the tabula and I didn't find divine orbs, I'll still be on a 4-link, and I will still be doing exactly what I'm doing, just a little bit slower, and I want to be more cautious. 4-link Hex Blast. Without cruelty and control destruction, I think, is what I was running. So it was Hex Blast, concentrated effect, chaos, and void manipulation was my 4-link. And then you can see here, there's my 4-link here. And it does really, really good damage, even without the 6-link. Especially for early mapping, right? That's the only thing we really care about. And I can show you the Doom Blast here. Average damage right now is like 14,000. The Hex Blast is like 90,000. Or 80, yeah, there you go. 90,000 with the frenzy charge, that doesn't matter. It's probably like 80, close to 85, right? That's like I said. 84,000, that's what it was. Then you multiply that times 320%, or however that math works, and you're hitting for like a truck. You're hitting like a truck every time. Most bosses are 2 to 3 taps, or 2 tapped with Plague Bearer, or 1 tapped and Plague Bearer finishes them off. So bosses again aren't an issue, as you saw.
When I'm ready.
And the last thing I got was, and this is why I have to fix my passive building, is because I was unaware that they removed the medium curse cluster. So it's just a small one, which is fine. We're just going to go for Wish for Death. So we have Calling Strike, which means we have an extra link for Hex Blast and Dew Blast. So essentially, I have a 7 link and a 5 link, which is great. The other important thing on this tree is you don't care about Ghost Dance and you don't care about Eldritch Battery until you get Vol Bastion. Once you get Vol Bastion, that's when you pick up Eldritch Battery, and you want to pick up Ghost Dance. I actually originally didn't have Ghost Dance planned until I removed my chest piece, and then I went down below 1,000 energy shield for casting spells. And then I remembered Ghost Dance, and I wondered why I wasn't using it before. And here we are. So, highly recommend Ghost Dance with Vol Bastion and Eldritch Battery. You can go Void Beacon and then Vol Bastion if you just want to hit that live early and you're that good. I am not. So, I went with Withering Presence for the Wither effects and to deal more damage. This is also I recommend. I recommend this being your third one. And then your last one is Profane Bloom. Yeah, I think that's about it. If you're curious about my MTX, which I doubt you are, it's just a Necrotic Hood with a Mist Core, Imperator, Boosted Gloves, Nullifier Wings, and my weapon is the Silver Crescent. And I really like the Tunnel Attachment for some reason. Don't ask why. So that's why I'm using it. And Metamorph Footprints with Metamorph weapon effects. This is what it should have on. Why is that not on? There we go. Oh, actually, we'll do that. No, we won't do any of it. Oh, there we go. The best weapon effects. Is there anything else I need to talk about? Oh, Grace or Determination. That is entirely up to you. I decided to go Grace because I know I want to spell suppress. Now, that might not be the correct choice. It might be the best choice to go Determination anyway, just to have the armor. But that's just my choice. So you can do whatever it is. If you go with Determination, I would recommend then all your armor to be armor / energy shields, so you can cast your spells. Yeah, I think that's all I got for you right now. I'll probably do an update video Thursday with any progress, so stay tuned for that. And I go live just about every day. The Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Wednesdays I'm taking off because that's the one day during the week that my wife is off, so gotta spend time with her. And I stream in the early mornings, 6 to 7 o'clock a.m. Eastern. So feel free to stop by Twitch, and if you have any questions, ask there. Or leave a comment down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and if you have any questions, like I said, just leave it down below. And I'll catch you guys next time. Peace. Sorry, and before I forget, I wanted to give a shout out to Woolfio over on YouTube. I found his video when I was looking for inspiration on this to see if anyone else was doing it. And no one really was except for Woolfio. At least I found. And his video kind of led me to the direction I'm going with right now. The build trees are slightly different, but I think we're both going for different things. You can see he's not going low life. I am. So we have a few differences on our tree and defenses. This is also made 3.17, his video. But do give it a look and go check him out. But yeah, I just want to say thanks to Woolfio. Thank you, Woolfio. And give him a shout out. Give credit where credit's due. So thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace.